One. Welcome. I am just waiting for Anna here. We are talking today about Kundalini and all of the things that, let's see, here's Anna. Okay, she should be connecting here. Anna!
Hi.
Hi, beauty. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm well, thank you. You have it.
Great.
What do you have in your cup?
Coffee.
Coffee. Oh, shoot. 1:30 coffee.
I know it's much needed at midday.
Yes.
Mm. Okay, so
Okay.
we can wait a little bit, but I guess this will be recorded so we can share everything with whoever wants to participate in this powerful experience.
Yes. Do you want me to pull like a card while we're waiting?
Yes.
Okay. I have this Isis Oracle, and I think it's appropriate for that.
Oh, yeah, I think
What's
so.
okay. Let's see what it says. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. Isn't it a new moon today?
Um, Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, well, it
No.
says the Lunar Queen.
Oh,
The Lunar Queen, she of the celestial crescent. I feel like this is very appropriate for Kundalini.
it is.
Let
What
me,
it says.
okay, hold on. Let me see here. It says, there is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles, of rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment of yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it.
Oh, I love
I
that.
feel like that's perfect. That's so crazy that that came out.
It is on point,
Yes,
actually.
not surprised at all.
I love this.
Me too.
Okay, well, let's why what we can start about sharing. I would love you to share this. Like, what is Kundalini? What is a Kundalini activation?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just share my experience with it and then we
Mm-hmm.
go on to like defining it further. But I was
Mm-hmm.
initiated into Kundalini in 2017 over an eclipse portal. It was that eclipse in September of 2017 that went from like Oregon to New North Carolina or something like that. And it was very intense. I had like a heightened energy. I stopped eating, I stopped drinking. I didn't really need that. I didn't need sustenance. I didn't need to sleep. I did, but I didn't need to. So it was really hard to go to sleep. And I was channeling. I was like really learning how to channel at that point in time. But I think that I didn't have the knowledge that I have now to
Mm-hmm.
ground. And so I kind of went a little bit off the walls there. And I went like probably 4 years really wondering about that experience and thinking that I was just crazy. Um, and then over another eclipse portal in 2022 that went from Oregon to I think South Carolina, which is really interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
another Kundalini awakening, but I knew about grounding and I knew about Kundalini and I knew about channeling then, and I hadn't just been kind of depressed, I guess. So I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is spiritual, and I've never been able to like go backwards in energy like I had the first time because the first time it was this huge integration. I had to kind of go back into the world with this curiosity about how my field had changed and wonder and like really competing with evidence that the world would present and that the spiritual community would
Yeah.
present because you I mean you're um a psychologist so you know but like a lot of times the same symptoms of a kundalini awakening or a kundalini activation, I would say awakening more than an activation, and we can go into the difference in a second. But
Hmm.
the same symptoms of a Kundalini awakening can be very close to mania.
Hmm.
And so I think that, you know, an awakening versus an activation can actually be safer because if you trust the guides who are presenting it, they have all the grounding techniques. They can really manage the energy for you. And it's not this like crazy one-off experience. It's really like your initiation into it. And I just think it's a beautiful way to go about it rather than this completely random experience that you could end up in a psych ward and yeah.
Yes, and I do believe it's different for each individual.
Yes.
Like for some people, it is like a thunder striking in your life, and it feels like that. But there's because you can hold that energy and you can like transmute that energy and kind of like step into the next level of your soul evolution, if that is a way to say this.
Right.
But there is different individuals that need to go to the process in a more like, gradual way.
Hmm.
So when it happens in a Kundalini activation, a transmission, or doing something like it can happen doing breath work, yoga, um, meditation, running. Like it will happen when you need that energy to be awakened in you. And again, like for you it happened that way because you were ready and the energy was like just take this in and
Yeah.
and be aware of what you were going to be working on from now on, and you were able to hold that energy, and you were prepared. That's why it presented to you in that way. And for example, for me, it was different. It was more of like a purge, like happening, and deep sorrow and depression that eventually transformed into like a new me. But it was like a set of energy happenings, not everything condensed in like one single day or moment.
Right.
So it's very different, and I would love also to share that what is Kundalini. So let's explain what is this energy.
Yeah. So Kundalini comes from the Sanskrit term for the feminine life force that's hidden at the base of your spine. So Kunda, the root word of Kundalini, kind of means pit. And I actually am blanking on what Lini means, but basically it's talking about like a repressed life force in the base of your spine that is divinely feminine. And when you activate it, you have this balance of the masculine that we're often living in with this beautiful divine feminine energy that kind of comes to balance it. And with that, when you christen this energy, which I do consider Kundalini kind of this christening of frequency, it's like the feminine, I mean, gives birth to whatever's being gestated. So whatever you've been gestating in, whether it be this stagnancy or this old energy, it's ready to kind of be transformed. And so this initiation is really the gates opening for you to finally birth this. And so I would consider Kundalini that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of this activation of this labor for you. And it's a labor of love and it's a labor of transformation and transmutation. I feel like you were saying that you were purging a lot when you went through
Mm-hmm.
your awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same. Like I couldn't be the same person after both of mine. So I had to like let go and let God, so to speak, and everything kind of needed to fall away that I kind of already knew needed to fall away. It just kind of happened because my
Mm-hmm.
fields existed at a different level than it had before, and so I was choosing that field's level, that higher frequency, and so everything that didn't want to come with me had to fall away.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that is the way that this energy works when it removes all these blockages and layers, when you are deeply invested in this transformation. And what I want also to share is that um, so Kundalini is this life force that all of us have, and actually is our prana, is our vital life force that we have every day when we wake up and we go to sleep, and that's what gives us the fuel of like just being a human and walking and doing things and stuff. And but we have this force that is dormant in the base of our spine, then that it's the Kundalini energy that when it activates and just go through all your spine until your chakra, your seventh chakra, your crown chakra, it in a way it creates this like opening in your body of all of those energy vortex that you have in your main chakras, because we have a lot, but we have seven main chakras in the center of our spine. For example, when we do breath work, we are balancing life force, and we have these three main channels: Shushumna, and Ida and Pingala, that goes in this like kind of spiral um, movement, and that's why the serpent is like representative also for the Kundalini energy. And so when we work with Kundalini, we are kind of also cleaning energetically those channels to awaken, so the energy can be pulled up and connect you to source. And that is when you received all this information that you already have and you can access, but we are kind of like blind to all of that information because of all the conditioning layers, cultural thinking, family patterns, and so. Um, Working with this energy will give you the tools to put away that veil that it's keeping you out of seeing things as they really are, in the way that you are meant to live your life and experience here in earth in this lifetime. So it is a very powerful energy, and as you said at the beginning, yes, it's a feminine energy, but that doesn't mean like it's feminine or just for
Yeah, that doesn't mean
women.
only women can do it.
Exactly is this part of creation that gives birth to everything, and it's connected to everything, and it works in balance with masculine energy. So if without feminine energy there is no masculine energy, and without masculine there is no feminine. But this life force, it has this feminine context of um, how do I say this? Like receiving and surrendering and creating. It's like the womb of all creation from where we all come from.
Right.
Yes, very profound. Mhm.
Yes.
So this experience working with Kundalini can feel like a deep release and emotional release, um, feeling more spiritual connection and and a lot of energetic movement as we were saying, like you will start to see things differently. That's why after working with Kundalini it may happen like things in your life where you now see like, oh my god, like I don't want to be like in this job anymore, or I don't want to live here anymore, or I just discover like my true passion, or and like a lot of things happening that can be
Right.
scary, but you were like holding back because energetically there was a blockage in that area of your life, and when moving that energy it's just like
Yes.
yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about our process because our process is a bit different than
Mm-hmm.
most work
Mm-hmm.
because we've kind of curated it in this way to
Mm-hmm.
really add some depth to the process. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are mentioning breath work, and we start with just this kind of overview and a little journaling exercise to kind of get into the feminine energy. So we're asking questions
Mm-hmm.
that consider a feminine perspective about, nurturing and how you want to serve. And so then we set into breath work, and breath work actually has been proven to be very connected to Kundalini because it activates the specific breath work that we do,
Mm-hmm.
activates the spinal fluid in our spine. And this allows that life force, like you were talking about, the prana, to move effectively throughout the channel. And then we drop into meditation or hypnosis and sound healing to kind of get the energy field um, ready to receive and moving and flowing, kind of breaking up the stagnancy that might have been there that you're harboring so that the activation is a lot more effective. And then we ground with this cacao ceremony. So, given that, with you're the expert here, Anna.
And you too. I don't consider myself an expert.
you are you are the Kundalini expert. You are Shakti in embodiment.
Aw.
So, given this, can you talk about kind of how this is different than a lot of Kundalini activations you've hosted in the past or ones that you've experienced
Mhm.
yourself with other practitioners? I'm going to kind of move my camera.
Yes. Yes. So it's very different. So each one, as I say, for example, in yoga, each teacher has their own like style. And for me, Kundalini activation, it's not about style. It's more about devotion and connection and how do you want to do this transmission, because it's not my energy, it's not just energy, it's source energy.
Right.
So it's very, for me, it's very important to honor that sacred space that we are holding for each one of the practitioners that are in that very moment wanting to connect with this energy. So we create this kind of a ritual, kind of like this journey that we move you through the activation itself. That's like the peak of the event,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very important to prepare you and then to close the energy for you so you can integrate everything. Without integration, it's just it's just another practice. But for me, this practice is very powerful and special, and it needs this um, guiding, and it needs the support from someone that is there for you when you start to shed off and release everything and purge, because there is a lot of feelings in that very moment that can be scary. So being out of your comfort zone of what you are used to is scary. Feeling things you were like blocking or you were like scared of seeing or feeling, it feels very uncomfortable. So we are there for you, and that's why we prepare this. And for me, I experienced um Kundalini activations before, and also like did it for myself, and just happening spontaneously, and like connecting all of that. When we were starting this workshops, we kind of like danced with the energy to find a way where it flows, um, in this manner that will assist you in the best way possible. So that's why we start with this opening circle, because it's very important to put the intention of why you are working with this energy. Why do you want to open this and be connected, and doing it for love, for healing, for purpose, for inspiration. So there's a lot of energy themes that you may want to work, but the energy is super intelligent and knows what you need in that moment. So it will give you more information later when you start. So it's very different, your intention at the beginning and at the end, what you discovered when going into this journey. So that's why we start with this opening, and as Jess was saying, doing breath work. Before we were including a little bit of yoga and movement, but breath work is very powerful, and it's the same. I'm not saying like yoga poses are not very
Mm.
powerful too, but
Right.
for the sake of this workshop, we needed to set you in a more meditative kind of, so with the yoga poses, you are more into your body, and we want to take you out of your body kind of
Mm-hmm.
in this workshop. So we do breath work just to start moving the energy in you, and then Jess will guide you into this hypnosis state with the sound bowls. So here, what she will do, and she's amazing at this, is getting you out, the start of getting you out of your like logical mind, and just be more connected to the spiritual realm, to source, to connect you with something bigger than your body, than yourself. And then in the actual activation, when we start the process, you will be just laying down, like in Shavasana. That's a yoga pose, but you are not doing anything. You are not moving your body. You're just like laying down. You don't have to do anything. Just be open to receive. This is a practice of surrender. And the most open you are to just receive without being worried about, oh, I don't want to do this or what the other people here will say, or what. It's, you need to like leave all those thoughts away. That's why we were leading you to that moment. We will put a curated playlist specific for that moment, to kind of high volume, so you can like disconnect and enter in this state of consciousness, more open to be in this place of opening. And yeah, so at that moment that you are laying down, Jess and I, we will be working with the energy with you doing the transmission, and we will give specifications when we are in the workshop, but just for you to imagine the roadmap, you are there, and that's when you start, like when we start moving the energy, and you may feel nothing, you may feel things, a lot of things, you may see things, you may experience movement, you may want to cry, want to jump, want to leave. it will it will be specific of your journey. So for everyone is different. Actually, we give you blindfolds, so that also gives a space of a safe space.
Yeah, you're anonymous. You like don't
Yes.
about anybody looking at you. You don't have to worry about looking at anyone else. Kind of in your own little world.
And helps go inward too, because you can have your eyes closed. Actually, I have done activations without blindfolds and with blindfolds, and for me, I'm always getting a lot of downloads, so my eyes go
It's like,
crazy.
yeah.
And having blindfolds helps me with the experience. So you can use it or not. Like everything will be there for you, and you decide. And then after the activation itself, that it's about 45 minutes or 40 minutes, we integrate with the cacao ceremony and just open the circle. And that's a moment of integration. It's about 2 hours and a half, maybe three. It's it's a very powerful workshop. Um, what else?
I don't know. I feel like I guess the only thing that I can think of is like, so, we talked about this process and how, we're really trying to slow your brain waves down to access
Hmm.
the nervous system. And
Hmm.
I really feel like Kundalini is deeply correlated to the nervous system and how, when we're activating energy in the spine is like the center of the nervous system and how we store all of this trauma and heartbreak and all of the lower vibrational things in the fascia or the nervous system.
Yeah.
So when we're opening the field in this way, I feel like there's just this nuanced science to why the field is opening and why you're releasing, and it's because of this. We're directly accessing the nervous system and allowing the energy to kind of push up this detritus that's been trapped in the field. And so it's nothing like I think a lot of people have fear around this
Hmm.
because there's so much to Kundalini, and you get afraid, especially if you've been raised in some type of Western society. There's like the whole snake idea, which is really just like this representation of
Hmm.
the divine feminine. There's the kriya or the involuntary movement that you might have that we associate with demonic possession, but really it's actually just a product of the nervous system.
Hmm.
When it's releasing, like after an animal is chased by prey, it shakes sporadically to just get the energy out of its system of fight or flight. And so in a way, that's exactly what Kriya is like this, spontaneous shaking. Okay, well, when you were going through that traumatic time, maybe you couldn't release, or you couldn't fully feel that, you suppressed it. And so in these moments of heightened energy, it allows the triggers and the nervous system to finally have that release. And so that's where you get the spontaneous twitching and stuff like that. So I guess in that scheme of things, if you could put your mind in, or yeah, if you could put your mind kind of in the shoes of someone who might have this dogma of
Hmm.
maybe, Western kind of Christian backgrounds where this type of stuff seems really spooky. Are there any other kind of answers to those types of objections that you can kind of think of outside of what I kind of just said.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot. Yes, I understand this. Even like for me, even yoga, like coming from a Catholic background, I grew up thinking yoga was bad or came from the devil, and tarot and everything related with the um how do I like non-traditional way of living or seeing things or what you are used to, and it takes you out of this space of conditioning. So I will say that if you are feeling the call and the curiosity of explore something else, something beyond what you already know, it's because you are prepared and you are ready. And it like we have this science-based information about Kundalini, even about energy. Even there's studies that can show how you can transform your life with meditation, with just changing your brain waves when you are open to more than just your body and what you are used to, function every day. Like there is more. And and for me was discovering that I was able to open and to access to this part of myself that was very repressed. And that's the correlation with this dormant energy. So there is people that is more like they are more awakened or woke or like naturally open to experience, and they came into this world like that, and they have a purpose. And there's this other part of society, I including me, that you came with a lot of blockages and repressions, and actually like I chose to came into this life in this Catholic family in this random town, whatever,
Yeah.
and experience like all of these limiting beliefs, so I can tap into this energy one day and discover I'm so much more than what I was thinking. So it's it can be challenging for someone that grew up in that setting, but once you decide, because this is a personal decision, like how do you want to live your life? How do you want to experience this, I don't know, like human.
Existence, incarnation, yeah.
Yes. Um, and this is a way, this is, yeah, because there's different paths to awakening or to discovering yourself. And I have explored some of them, with yoga, with therapy, with astrology, with tarot, with channeling, with like once you open one door, you are able to explore other doors. And for me, Kundalini especially, um, it was the catalyst of a lot of changes in my life, that helped me realize who I'm really are, like my truest version. And it's not something pretty at the beginning, because you get to see your dark side too, and that is a key like component, because there will be times when you will experience joy and pleasure and like all of these beautiful things you can experience when doing an activation, and like wow, I understand why I came like to live, like kind of when you do mushrooms or other
Yeah.
stuff that you are, and there is this other side that you will need to, okay, you have access to that, but you also need to experience sadness, grief, sorrow, shame. So all of this like awful things that are very necessary for this experience, and 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 you can like see it all. I won't say that in one activation you will experience everything. No, it's again, it's a for you maybe a process of different like activations, or
Exposure.
may yeah, or maybe not an activation. Maybe you just it will happen when like running or walking in the park or whatever, but there will be something that will trigger that opening. And yeah, so it's 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 just a decision. That's
Mhm.
my after that's my last. It's just if you feel the call, and if you feel the curiosity, and if you feel you are ready to know more about yourself, um it's it's important to respond to that call in the way that feels authentic to you.
I totally agree. Okay, so I want to just let everyone who's on the call ask questions if they need to.
Hmm.
If anyone has any questions that we haven't addressed, now is your time. Did we touch everything that we wanted to touch on a?
Yes. I guess just for the people that they are interested and have never like experienced, or um or experience a Kundalini activation workshop, um kind of like preparation. You don't need like a preparation per se, but it just like come with an open mind. Maybe try to sleep well the day before, not like drink alcohol or get like stuff in your body, because you will go through like an energetic cleanse and process that maybe my only advice, like drink a lot of water, and that's it, like normal stuff. Just drink water every day. you know?
Yeah, I think that's really important because
Mm-hmm.
water, of course, conducts the electricity
Mm-hmm.
we're directly working with in Kundalini. So it is important to have a lot of water and also just the effects that substance has on your field, even certain foods, like even like
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to eat heavy meats and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
the day before, it might not be the best
Mm-hmm.
because we're going to be pushing out density. And
Mm-hmm.
so, meat is really grounding. Um, and and it's also kind of dead energy as well. So you have this like really heavy, yeah, grounding foods afterwards. That's totally why we do the cacao. But
Yeah.
yeah, so if you're eating before these really heavy grounded foods, it can be hard to the system. It could be hard on the system when experiencing Kundalini. So that's another way we could prepare.
Yes. Yes, that's super important. Maybe that day just like have a light breakfast, um, and comfy clothes, because you will be sitting in the floor and laying down. Um,
Yeah, that's a great call. And if you want cushions or pillows or anything like that.
Yeah, something extra from home. We
Yeah,
will have everything, we'll provide you, but if you want to bring something, like you're totally welcome to do it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so let me see.
Let's talk about Centro too for just a second. You want to
Hmm.
intro?
Yes. So the workshop will be happening at Centro. It's I don't remember the actual address, but it's in Conroe, and it's a very beautiful space, open for creating this workshops, classes that are all about your spiritual connection. So the energy that the place holds is very light, is very welcoming. It's a very beautiful place. So it's the complete experience.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's kind of like in that Magnolia, Conroe, the Woodlands area, and I feel like it's off the beaten path enough that you have like this kind of sacredness to the
Hmm.
to the house, but it's close enough to where it's not like out of the way and you're driving, forever.
Yes.
And it's kind of
There,
the perfect place.
yes, there is parking there. It's 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 kind of like off the grid, but at the same time, like you will find it.
Central to everything. Yeah, totally. All right.
Yes.
I don't see any questions.
No, but we are open to Jess and I will be open if you have any questions, if you see this the live in the recorded version, you can send us a DM or a message
Mhm.
or whatever questions you have. We have spots available. So before it was kind of, we still have a small participant kind of group, but we still have spaces available for that you can reserve your spot as soon as you can because it's happening on Sunday,
Yes, Sunday at why am
11
I on the time? 11. Yes.
11 a.m.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay. Okay. Anything else we want to add or
So I think the only other thing I can think of is just a real quick pitch for cacao because that's another thing people get afraid of.
mm-hmm,
Okay, so cacao is unprocessed cocoa, and it has a lot of theobromine in it. So processed cocoa, all of the nutrients are stripped, and cacao has that theobromine that activates the circulation in your body, and so you do get this like euphoric, I don't want to say high because I think it's even too strong of a word, but just sensation. And
mm-hmm.
it allows the ideas to flow, it opens the heart space. And that's the only other thing I could think of to kind of pitch. So if you're done, Anna, then I think I will post the link or the description to get
Mm-hmm.
to the link in the comments of this live when I post it to my feed. And I think we're good. Is that a wrap?
Yes, perfect. So thank you. And just if you are coming, be open to receive, and we will very happy to have you.
Yes. DM us if you need anything. Love you all.
Bye.
Hey, bye.